Hey, how's it going, everybody? I want to welcome you to a brand new series I'll be doing on my channel here. I call it, well, you see what it's called. It's right there on the title. You see the title. It's there. Is it down there? All right. Well, you see it anyways. All right. So it's called Quality Check. And the idea of Quality Check is we're just going to check out movies, usually ones that are playing currently in theaters. And I'm just gonna, give it a quick rundown. There will be spoilers, so fair warning. I won't try to spoil everything, but yeah, it's gonna be hard not to talk about spoilers because, well, this is this is just what it is. Um, so yeah, here we go. Captain America: Civil War. All right. So if you read the comics, then you already have an idea going into the story. You have like a perception of what the story's going to be. And, well, the big thing everybody asked was, is Captain America going to die at the end of this movie? Like he did in the Civil War? Well, I feel like they kind of answered that at the very beginning because they bring the character of Crossbones in and, well, kind of blows himself up. And that doesn't happen in the comics because in the comics, he's the guy that kills Captain America. Oh. So, no, Captain America doesn't die. Man, how about that? That's the way it goes, I guess. So the basic thing is you got the governments of the world are all freaking out. All right, they really are not happy. They're not happy that all this shit's been going down with you know big fights and aliens and all this stuff has been shaken down. I mean, I'm pretty sure the thing with Ultron trying to drop a giant city didn't help matters. But yeah, all this shit's been going down, and they're freaking out, and they're blaming everything on the Avengers. Now, from a logical standpoint, I have to point out that's stupid because if the Avengers weren't there in the first Avengers film, well, the Earth would have gotten taken over by aliens, and the events of that film would have happened regardless of whether the Avengers were there or not. Like, if you completely got rid of all of them, Loki still would have brought the Chitauri to Earth. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was still gonna happen. So, I mean, yeah. And then they bring up the whole Winter Soldier plot where it's like, oh, the helicarrier is falling from the sky and Hydra. Like, the Avengers weren't responsible for that either. That was the government's. That was like government agencies and stuff, corruption on the deep level. You can't blame any of them for that. You people are just being assholes at this point and trying to pass the buck. And yeah, it feels really dumb. And then the final one, they're like, oh well, Ultron tried to drop, he killed all these people, and yeah, I mean, yeah, that is bad. It's bad, but that was Tony Stark's fault actually, because you know he he created Ultron. That was yeah. Remind me again why Iron Man's why we're supposed to side any bit with Iron Man like this. I know there's like an argument on whose side are you on, but I'm really having a hard time siding with Iron Man on this one. He feels guilty because he fucked up. So Captain America and his buddies have got to fall in line. I I really don't follow that train of thought, that logic. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. And they have General Thunderbolt Ross as the head of this whole thing. All right, this is the guy who helped create the Hulk and has an unhealthy obsession with superhumans and is just a general all around prick. And you want to put him in charge of all the superhumans. It's kind of a bad idea. Basically, to sum up, the United Nations and government, as set forth in this film, they're just all kind of really stupid, and they're just really blaming things on the Avengers, so they don't have to take any blame, except for the Ultron thing. The Ultron thing is one Avenger's fault, but you really can't blame it on all of them. Um, I mean, some people would argue that I'm splitting hairs there, but no, it's Tony's fault. I mean, yeah, there's no getting around that. That is flat out fucking Tony's fault. Tony did it. It was him. It was his thing. It was his decision. His ego. And that's the big problem with him as a character in this movie is his ego takes over so much that it causes big falling outs. And of course, there's the whole thing with the Winter Soldier and everything. And basically, the Winter Soldier gets framed by this classic Captain America villain, Baron Zemo, who isn't a Captain America villain in the movie. This is his first introduction, but whatever. So Zemo has a hard on against all of them because of what happened in Zarkovia, even though that's really just Iron Man's fault. And I just I don't understand people. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It really doesn't. But yeah. I mean, you could even argue like, well, is it really even Tony's fault? Because he didn't create Ultron to be a psychopathic killer robot. So even if you were to do that argument, then well, it's like, well, then it's fucking Ultron's fault. And he's dead. They killed Ultron. So shut the fuck up, people. I mean, what? I don't. I don't understand. I really don't. I don't get the whole desire to constantly want to blame superheroes for problems. We had this in Batman versus Superman, which I have already talked about in a thorough write up. Um, but there was that problem in that movie too, where they're just like, "Oh, Superman responsible for all of these things." Like, if he wasn't there, Earth would be dead, just dead. We would all be dead. They'd all die because Michael Shannonzad would come there and he would terraform the Earth into New Krypton, and we would all be dead because we don't have powers. So that's the that was the plot of Man of Steel. I mean, I don't like. I understand there's people who don't like Man of Steel. They feel like it is too destructive and everything. I'm like, okay, it's a fair point. You can't blame that on Superman though. I mean, I really stand by that. You can't blame that shit on Superman because it was his first day out as Superman. He's got no training. But we're not talking about that. Anyways, it's just all comes down to them always trying to blame. They always try to pass the buck on people, and that's kind of what this movie is. It's all about trying to pass the buck off to somebody else. Um, Zemo trying to pass the buck off. That woman, I don't know. She works for the government. She's like, Iron Man, my son died, and you guys suck because he died because he was there. And I know you saved millions of people of the world all these times, but fuck you. I get it. I get it. When somebody you care and love about, you care about and love dies, it's terrible. It's sad. It really is. You can't. blame the world for your problems. You can't. You got to look at the big picture. You really do. You have to be objective. You have to look at things rationally. I personally feel that. I do. You can't. You can't. Like, it's sad that her son died. It is. But nobody forced her son to be where he was. That was his choice. He went to a dangerous place. And yeah, the place was already in upheaval before the Avengers ever came there and Ultron blew every shit fucking thing up. Like, so fucking get off your soapbox and quit pretending like this is a thing that's completely their fault. Like, no, I'm sorry. I can't, I don't buy it. I don't. I really don't. Like, I'm completely on Captain America's side in this. You can't trust people who clearly aren't using their rational minds to keep making decisions like this. Like, I'm not a pro government person. I really am not. Like, I'm not pro Big Brother. You can't do this. It's not good. No. So yeah, Zemo frames Bucky, Winter Soldier, James Buchanan Bonds. He frames him for an explosion that kills the Black Panther's father. The Black Panther's all pissed off about it. He's gonna kill Winter Soldier, and it's basically it sets up all the motivations for them to all be fighting. And Tony Stark goes and visits Peter Parker out of nowhere. I guess he saw him on YouTube. He saw some YouTube video of Spider-Man, and he's just like, "Oh, I'll find this kid," and yeah, he goes and finds him, and it's funny. It's very well done. There was more of Spider-Man in the movie than I expected. Um, I really like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I feel like he has the best elements of both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's portrayals. So I feel like he could be the Spider-Man, like the one that really comes to mind when people think of Spider-Man in movies. Um, there's all right. The other thing is everybody was wondering if Spider-Man was going to switch sides because in the Civil War story he switched sides. No, he doesn't switch sides. Um, Black Widow does. When they have the big fight, which is awesome, like it's a huge big fight and everything. But it's kind of like in Batman versus Superman, where you have Batman and Superman fight, but it's about 10 minutes maybe. The fight felt like it was only about 10 minutes maybe. It was just like it's built up as this big huge thing that's gonna like take over the entire movie, and it really isn't. It just it just kind of happens. Yeah, the actual plot is more about Captain America and Bucky trying to uncover this plot by Zemo, um, where there's other Winter Soldiers, there's others Russian super soldiers who are as badass as Bucky, if not worse, and they're afraid Zemo's going to wake them up and have his own kill squad. Um, So the big fight happens. Black Widow decides to help Bucky and Steve escape. Um, all the heroes that were on Cap's side, they all get put in the raft, which, yeah, because that's great. Let's put all our superheroes in jail. Uh, hey, who's Thanos? What's gonna happen? I mean, Ultron pops back up. We just gonna, say, oh well, I know we have you guys in jail, but could you come out and come save the world again? I mean, we're not gonna apologize for putting you in jail because you broke the law, even though it was super law. Uh, it's fucking. I don't get the logic. I really don't. But they go and they find Zemo. He's already found the super soldiers. Um, Iron Man finds out that what's really happening. He finds out all the stuff with Zemo and that Bucky was framed. And then we build to the conclusion of what happened at the very beginning of the movie, which is this scene that is it's like a flashback. It shows the past. It shows 1991, back when Bucky was still the Winter Soldier and he was completely under Hydra mind control. He was sent on a mission to go, I guess, kill some people and whatever. He was going to steal something. I guess it was to make more super soldiers like himself. But the big reveal is that it turns out it was Tony's parents. This is Tony's parents. This is how they died while Bucky was under mind control. And Zemo shows Tony a video of it, and Tony, Mr. purportable rational futurist mind man who is supposed to represent the more rational ideologies, flips his shit and completely, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care that, rationally he should know that wasn't Bucky. That's not him. He was not in his mental capacity. Like, him and Bruce Banner, him and the Hulk, they're besties. They're good buddies. The Hulk has been mind controlled and manipulated so many times, but nobody holds it against him. Now, almost all the characters got mind controlled in Age of Ultron, but none of them held it against one another. Oh, nobody holds it against Hawkeye because he was mind controlled by Loki. But Bucky, who, to be fair, really he only means something to Steve, because Steve the only one has a real pre-existing relationship, unless they decide to kind of retroactively retcon the Black Widow relationship with them. Anyways, yeah, he, I don't, I don't get how you can just automatically pull such a hypocritical move, where you're just like, oh well, all these people were mind controlled and we weren't been out of shape about it, but fuck you, oh kill you. I don't know. It felt really out of character. It really did. It feels. It. All right. And Black Panther followed them all there too, and he saw that Zemo was the one who killed him. And the major theme of the movie really is vengeance. Like, it's all about people trying to get revenge on one another. Like, Iron Man gets overcome with vengeance, and that mother's overcome with vengeance, and and Black Panther's overcome with vengeance. Zemo's overcome with vengeance because his family died in the Age of Ultron, and he blames the Avengers for it. And Black Panther, did I say Black Widow before? It's Black Panther. Black Panther's father died. Black Panther decides not to kill Zemo because he knows the cycle of vengeance needs to stop, which is one of the smartest things that's been said in the entire film. And we leave on a hopeful note of Zemo being imprisoned and Black Panther helping try to fix Bucky, basically. Because Bucky's going back under, in like cryostasis, because he doesn't want to be awake unless they have a way to get that programming out of him, which is good. I mean, I understand that. He signed on for a lot of other movies, which means that we're going to get some more of good old Sebastian Stan as James Buchanan Bonds. I'm very happy about that. So we get more of him, and it's going to be awesome. And there's like a letter that Steve writes Tony, basically, telling Tony he is who he is, and he is who he is. So they're not going to change the way. And then we see, Steve showing up in the prison, the raft. He's obviously breaking out the Avengers there. Um, so that's cool. I mean, it's all good stuff. There are some subtle things. There are little things. Like there was kind of a moment where it felt like they were trying to build the Bucky Natasha thing, because he's like choking her out when he's being mind controlled by Zemo again. Um, and she's like, "The least you can do is recognize me." I'm like, are they trying to do the thing? Are they trying to do the thing? I mean, shouldn't they have done the thing in Winter Soldier? Or was she just trying to pretend that she didn't know who he was? I don't know. Well, we'll see. I'm a big fan of the Bucky Natasha relationship from the comics, so I hope. Man, one only hopes, man. One hopes. I mean, come on. Like, I hope I can squeeze my big body in the frame. I'm always leaning forward because this is just a tiny box. All right. So, we also get Agent 13, Sharon Carter. She's in the film. Well, there's several reasons why. Peggy Carter, of course, dies. Finally, I don't want to say finally, like it's a relief, but it's like you knew it was going to be coming, and it's a very big emotional moment. It's probably the most emotional moment in the movie. The two deaths, her death and King T'Chaka, T'Challa's father, Black Panther's father. Those are very emotional deaths because those are very important characters. I mean, they didn't. I mean, they introduced T'Chaka in this film, but he's very well done. Like you actually like the character right away. He's very, very done. Well done. I was very impressed with the actor. Um, I say a lot, don't I? So her and Steve sort of like show that they have feelings for each other too. Sharon and Steve, they kiss after she helps him. Um, there's just a lot of great stuff here. You should see the movie for yourself. If you've watched this video at all and you don't give a shit about spoilers, and I'm sorry. I really don't know how to talk about the movie accurately unless I talk about the spoilers. I really don't. It's too difficult for me. I can't give it a thorough talk about anything. I can't do it. I can't. I tried. I can't. So I highly recommend the film. I plan to buy it if I have money to buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray, DVD, whatever. And I'm looking forward to the next Marvel film. But I'm not playing favorites. I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad too. I grew up on it. Hey, right, yeah. So if I can go watch more movies. I will be back next time to talk about a movie that I actually saw before this movie, but I hadn't started making these videos yet, so I'm gonna do it late. Bye bye.